Namaskar. Welcome to Viewer Asia Voice of Community on ITV Gold this Sunday. In our special weekly edition, we'll begin with this week with Panchi Dr. Sudhir Parikh. We'll have a report on Vishwa Matra Bhasha Divas as was observed at the Indian Consulate. You will hear 31st Annual State of Edison Township address by Mayor Sam Joshi. In fact, he talks to us on this occasion. Khand Ramayana part was organized with special prayers for India. Part of that Akhand Ramayana part in terms of a brief report will reach you, and also you will hear part of conversation with the president of American Indian Chamber of Commerce, Rajiv Krishna. We'll conclude with glimpses of conversation with the entrepreneur Danny Gaikwad. So all this coming up right after these short messages. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Vision of Asia as a community. What makes life interesting is the level of our awareness. And in that direction, the weekly session with Panchi Dr. Sudhir Parikh is also worth following. Here we have this week's edition of this special series. Namaskar, welcome to this special edition of This Week with Panchi Dr. Sudhir Parikh. Dr. Sahab, namaste, welcome.
Namaskar, namaskar.
So there are many things that are on the top of our mind. One is, should we feel relaxed that COVID is gone, or we still have reasons to worry?
I think COVID, it's a tail end. It's not gone, because still a number of, if you look at number of cases, are quite a bit. Of course, the percentage of infectivity is down to almost less than 2%. So it's kind of going away and kind of entering into endemic. But I would still, CDC is very conservative, not saying that, okay, remove the mask, just like what England did yesterday. Because we are afraid that still the number of cases throughout the country, it's quite high. And the number of deaths are even, will be higher 2 weeks from now. So because of always death, it lacks the number of infection, right? So, but luckily this infection is very mild, so hospitalizations are less, seriousness is less, and death is less. And I think slowly, at least certain part of the country like Northeast and California, West Coast, they are doing pretty good. And it's safe to say that if you don't wear mask all the time, that will be fine. And even New York, because of the high vaccination percentage, as well as booster dosage, the infectivity rate is less than 1%. So governor of New York said that you don't need to wear mask in the restaurant. And there is no need to even, wear the mask in the gathering. And there is no restriction on the gathering now. So I think we are at the end of the pandemic.
And do you think it's a smart idea on the part of Indian government to have stopped the requirement of having someone take RT-PCR test before coming to India?
I think so. As long as they are vaccinated, I think they should not have a requirement to take artificial test, because by doing it complicates the thing. If someone is going for 7 days or a few days to India, and if to take the test and test may come positive even though you are asymptomatic and you are vaccinated, then that person has to quarantine himself or herself, and which is not practical thing to do. And I think, I'm sure that quarantine is not observed faithfully either, because who is watching every day everybody, So I think they should stop doing that, and they should be open up more international border, as Australia opened up for all the vaccinated people. They can come, anybody can come to enter into Australia now.
So now let us jump towards the political orbit in India with upcoming elections. A lot of statements drawing people's attention, and I'll begin with claim of Kumar Vishwas who is co-founder of Aam Aadmi Party, having said that once Delhi Chief Minister told him that he will either become Chief Minister of Punjab or would become Prime Minister of a separated state. And in fact, there have been references that Aam Aadmi Party working closely with some separatist elements. Do you think it will have some impact on voters? And
I think it will have some impact because it came so 2-3 days before the voting, so there was enough time for a news cycle to register in the voters' mind. So, and particularly in the Punjab, where the kind of nationality or nationalism is very high, and it's a border state, and they do not like the Khalistanis or people who are looking for independent country. So I think they will have, and I think there could be spoiler for AAP.
yeah, so there were a lot of back and forth statements. So Arvind Kejriwal saying that he's a humorous poet, he can say anything. Kumar Vishwas saying again that he should come open and categorically declare that he's against Khalistani movement, etc. But he hasn't said it. And then there was a reference of central agencies doing some investigation, to which Home Minister seems to have taken seriously, and they might have initiated something. What do you think about this all?
Well, I think what I understand that someone has filed a FIR against Kejriwal. So we don't know unless investigation happens, but there must be something there which is not very clear. What Home Minister says, again, it could be political angle to it. We don't know.
Right.
Because see, most of the votes, what AAP is going to get is Hindu vote in Punjab. And if AAP is if you raise the question regarding AAP, then that vote obviously will gravitate towards BJP and BJP alliance, So that could be a political angle, right?
Right. Do have the power to shift people's
Mind,
views, perhaps. And so, in this context, recently we observed Jayanti of Sant Ravi Das Ji. You must have seen the video of Prime Minister Narendra Modi sitting cross-legged with ladies at Ravi Das Gurudwara in Delhi and singing, or so that became viral. And after that, in Varanasi, all these leaders, including Priyanka, Channi, and Kejriwal, all these people went there. Earlier, not that much attention was paid to this.
Well, I would say thanks to election. So I think it's in election time, everybody, those who really believer and those who are half believer or those who are pretend to be believer, they all has to act for the public consumption. So we don't know who are sincere or who are not, but at least Prime Minister is sincere because he always believe in that, and we have seen him all the time that he goes to all the kind of temples and gurudwaras and everywhere, and he always believes that all these gurus and mahatmas and they are all are very important for healthy nation building.
Absolutely. And you look pretty genuine, though it was a very short video.
Right.
Now, going towards Uttar Pradesh, there is a kind of a seesaw in terms of the surveys as well as people's perception. And this hijab thing also is taking center stage with the hearing at the High Court. Where do you see right now which party is likely to gain?
I think it's very hard to say because election is very difficult to say whatever people to read the people's mind. But it looks like I think it's a very challenging election in first 3 phases. And of course, my personal opinion is that, and personal wish that BJP should win, and BJP should form the government because I think BJP is the largest national party with a lot of resources, plus center has BJP administration. So it's good for people of Uttar Pradesh to have BJP as a ruling party there. But we don't know. Still only 3 phases are gone, four more to go. But I think it's not easy cakewalk for BJP either, looks like, what we get feedback from the different corner of the Uttar Pradesh. So it's interesting. Let's wait and see what happens.
Prime Minister was touring in Uttar Pradesh, and he appreciated the work of Yogi Adityanath ji, and he didn't shy away from being critical to the comments made by Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who referred to him as king, etc. So, where do you see the role of Rahul Gandhi in UP election, though Priyanka is in charge from Congress party, but do you feel, based on their statements, etc., there is still potential of Congress to revive?
I'm not sure. Congress is very weak right now, and of course, Congress has a lot of base in the UP, but it's very weak right now. So I don't think it will revive. I think this is a time for BJP, and if not BJP, then probably Samajwadi Party.
So again, it's going to be interesting to see. And double engine sarkar is another term used by Prime Minister Modi, which you mentioned, having the same government in the center and the state. Now, moving towards the international scenario of the crisis of Ukraine and Russia and the stand that America has taken. America is very clear in its position. I must compliment you. Last time while we were talking, you said what Putin is saying is not the ground reality, and so that is how things have unfolded in the past week. So, moving forward, the sanctions imposed by America on Russia, do you think it will have some
I think so. I think so. It will have some effect, because nobody wants war. Nobody wants to kill unnecessary innocent hundreds of thousands of people for what? So whatever objection or whatever complaint President Putin has can be resolved by talking. So whether to put the Ukraine in the NATO or not to put in NATO and all those things is simple thing in a way that it doesn't need to be killing the people. And therefore, my guess and my hope and my prediction is that there will not be Ukraine invasion at the last moment. And I think you can if you judge from the today's market activity, market was down almost 400 points in the morning, and after Biden press conference, it came back. So Biden did calm down the hysteria of the war, and I think the USA sanction on the Russian and wealthy Russian corporate individuals, I think will have some effect.
Biden has also said that USA will continue to supply defense equipment to Ukraine. So America is standing with Ukraine, and so are some European countries. And as you mentioned about the position of Ukraine becoming a part of NATO or not, is that very significant for Western countries, and why should that become the cause of concern for Russia?
I think it is significant for Western countries in a way, because number one, the people of Ukraine wants to be with the NATO, not with the Russia. And if Ukraine comes into NATO, then NATO has a stronger position standing in the world, because then NATO comes all the way to front door of the Russia, and which is uncomfortable feeling for Russia, and that's why what we are watching is happening.
So now moving towards the concluding part of our conversation, and there I will also mention that India has taken proper steps to evacuate Indians who were stuck in Ukraine, and I think that consistency is observed on the part of Indian government. Every place wherever Indians are in a crisis situation, they are trying to keep them into the safe fold. Your concluding remarks from our today's show.
Well, dear friends, we are going through so many interesting events throughout the world. One is our election in India. The election is very, very interesting, and I personally wish that BJP win the elections in most of the state which is in the fray right now. To have a better government and better coordination with the central government. Number two, the Ukraine and Russia conflict. I have kind of trust and on the wisdom of the leaders that there will not be any war. All this rhetoric will die down eventually within next few weeks, and we'll be back to peace. And third thing, just remember, pandemic is not over, is almost about to over, but be careful, wear the mask indoor, and be careful, stay healthy. And thanks for joining us this week. God bless America. God bless India. God bless Indian American community. And we'll see you next week. Till then, goodbye.
Vishwa Matra Bhasha Divas was observed on 21st February all over the world. The day dedicated to mother tongue, mother language. And in the series Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat, it was observed at the Indian Consulate with special focus on Rajasthani. Indian Consulate is organizing this series state by state, and it so happened that 21st February coincided with the focus on Rajasthani culture and language. Indian Consulate organized this in collaboration with Jaipur Foot, USA. There were Rajasthani poems, dances, and messages with special reference to the richness of Rajasthani language and culture. While Consul General Randeep Jaiswal ji addressed the audience, Director of Chairman of Jaipur Foot, USA, Prem Bhandari also addressed. I also got the opportunity of sharing Rajasthani poem Apnayat on this occasion. Here are some excerpts from that event.
तो प्रस्तुत है इस कार्यक्रम पर ये विशेष रिपोर्ट। तो जायसवाल जी, हम एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की श्रृंखला में जो आज राजस्थानी भाषा और संस्कृति पर केंद्रित कार्यक्रम था, तो इसका क्या महत्व मानते हैं आप इस तरह के आयोजनों का?
देखिए, इस साल हम लोग भारत के 75वें आज़ादी के 75वें साल को मना रहे हैं, और जब आप भारत को मनाते हैं तो भारत के हर पहलू को मनाना ज़रूरी होता है। और हिंदुस्तान की और भारत की सबसे बड़ी पहलू है कि जो हमारे यहाँ डाइवर्सिटी है, जो हमारे यहाँ जो विविधता है, और विविधता को फिर आप फिर से देखें, विविधता को नज़दीक से देखें तो जो भाषा की विविधता है हमारे, उसको मनाना बड़ा ज़रूरी है। और भाषा के ज़रिए आप हर लोग को, हर संस्कार को, हर संस्कृति को, रीति रिवाज को मनाते हैं। तो अगर हम हर भाषा को और हर पक्ष को आगे लेके चलें तो भारत की विविधता को मनाएंगे और साथ में भारत की एकजुटता को मनाएंगे।
आज राजस्थानी भाषारो कार्यक्रम है। पूरे विश्व रे माने हेंगो मोटो शब्दकोश कीरो है डॉक्टर सीताराम जी लाल साहब रो 2,10,000 ज़्यादा शब्द भी माने। मैं क्या आज तो मारे वास्ते त्यौहार है। आज इंडियन कॉन्सुलेट रे माने 7 समंदर पार आज कितना राजस्थानी भाई सुबह में ट्रेंड हो रही है, ट्विटर में आज नंबर 1 चल रही है। तुम्हारे कहने का तात्पर्य है कि इन भाषा ने मान्यता मिलनी चाहिए और हमें मिल रही।
राजस्थानी भाषा हिंदी के बहुत समीप होने से अधिकतर सीधे सीधे पहुंच जाएगी, और कहीं कहीं आपकी मुस्कान मुझे कम लगी तो मैं उसका अनुवाद करके बताऊंगा। इसलिए शुरू करता हूं बहुत धन्यवाद के साथ में। अपनायत शुद्ध प्रेम रो दूजो नॉम है सुभाष जी साहब। अपनायत शुद्ध प्रेम रो दूजो नॉम है। शरद जी, संबंध में स्वार्थ रो कई कौम है। अपनायत शुद्ध प्रेम रो दूजो नॉम है और संबंध में स्वार्थ रो कई कौम है। राजस्थान री माटी रो प्रताप ऐसा, राजस्थान री माटी रो प्रताप ऐसा। न्यूयॉर्क भी मारे वास्ते जोधपुर धौम है। पकड़ में आ गई प्रोफेसर साहब को। जोधाणारी कई बातों हैं खास, एक दूसरे मान सम्मान और विश्वास। त्योहार खूब आ रहा, उत्सव ही उत्सव, त्योहार खूब आ रहा, पग पग माते उल्लास, निश्चलता देखने मुस्कुरावे आकाश। मन में मैल नहीं है, ऐसे मनुष्य हैं वहां पे कि अपनायत कनकसा अपनायत पहिए टकेरो खेल कोनी, अपनायत पहिए टकेरो खेल कोनी, लोभी मिनक रो किनोई मेल कोनी। सूर्य नगर री हवा में नेछेरा गाना है, जीव हो रहा है तो मुक्ति, जीवन जेल कोनी।
मैं आप लोगों सबारो एक बार बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहूँ आज राजस्थानी दिवस रे उपलक्ष्य में। प्रेमल सर और जयपुर फोटो जायसवाल साहब, डीसीजी साहब रो, गोलिया साहब एंड अशोक जी आपरो भी जिका सब पधारिया। आज ऑफ डे है, प्रेसिडेंट डे है, सबारी छुट्टी है, पर कॉन्सुलेट माने अवसर दियो है कि मैं अटे आने उत्सव ने सेलिब्रेट कर सका, तो मैं जायसवाल साहब रो हृदय आभार करूँ।
और प्रोग्राम बहुत ही अच्छो हुयो और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि मैं मारवाड़ी में कहना चाहूँ जायसवाल साहब वास्ते और कॉन्सलेट वास्ते जो अपने हनुमंत सिंह जी जिस टाइम खड़ा हुआ जोधपुर में लोकसभा वास्ते, वे आ कहो भाई मैं थांसू दूर नहीं हूँ पास खड़ा, और जब हुक्म करो जब दास खड़ा। तो आज की तारीख में कॉन्सलेट और कॉन्सलेट जनरल की ये पूरी युक्ति जो मैं कह रहा हूँ उसके ऊपर फिट बैठती है कि जब भी आपको कहो कि ये कहते हैं हमको हुक्म करो हम खड़े हैं, तो और ये कहते हैं हम तुमसे दूर नहीं और पास खड़े हैं, तो इससे बढ़िया और क्या हो सकता है। इनके लिए मैं क्या कह सकता हूँ। और कॉन्सलेट जनरल जो आप जायसवाल साहब हैं, ये इन्होंने तो पूरे द्वार ही खोल रखे हैं।
ये तो बहुत अच्छा है कि आपने कॉन्सुलेट में जो भाषा का, क्योंकि मदर जिसकी भाषा है वो मदर भाषा में बोलना, मदर भाषा को संभालना, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है। हम ओरिजिनल जो पीछे अफ़गानिस्तान के हैं, जो सदियों हज़ारों साल से उधर रहते हैं, लेकिन हम भी उधर अभी तक अपनी जो भाषा है, पंजाबी भाषा और हिंदी भाषा जो है उनको सांभ रखी है। हालांकि मेरे को 7 भाषाएँ आती हैं, हिंदी, उर्दू, पंजाबी, इंग्लिश, फ़ारसी, पश्तो, थोड़ी थोड़ी रशिया भी आती है।
It has been a wonderful experience here in the consulate. It's been about 5 months since I came to the United States. The love, the warmth of the community that I have got here personally is absolutely overwhelming. I am really thankful to the community and to the Friends of India here. We are very pleased to work together with the community, to work for their welfare, their well-being. That is the topmost priority of the consulate. We are open 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. We are just a phone call away in case of any need that you may have. You want to go back to India, you want to get your documents attested, whatever the need might be. You want to engage yourself with India on economic, commercial relations. You want to do an event on culture, promoting language like the one we did today. Our doors are open for you. We are always there for you.
While members of Indian community in Edison, New Jersey are especially proud to have a mayor who comes from Indian American background, Sam Joshi has his focus correctly fixed on taking care of each and everyone. What he's offering, what is his vision, he was excited about addressing 31st annual state of address of Edison Township recently. And he also talked to us right before the address. Take a look.
introduce not only someone who's dedicated to good public policy, is compassionate, is humble, and has the right thing to do always in his heart and soul. I've known Sam a lot of years, and Mr. Mayor, we are so proud of you. He is the first South Asian Indian to be mayor of Edison, the first in of the town as large as Edison. He follows in the footsteps of so many great mayors who have come before him, and he knows that foundation. He respects that structure. I can tell you that his vision, his enthusiasm is only surpassed by the energy that he has, the compassion that he has, and the ability to bring people together. It is my privilege to introduce not only my good friend, but the mayor of the great township of Edison, Mayor Sam Joshi.
Hello, my friends in Edison Township. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. It has been a difficult 2 years, but it seems like we're finally reaching the light. As many of you already know, I had the honor of growing up in Edison. My parents owned a home on Library Place, and as a kid, I spent a lot of time riding my bike to Roosevelt Park to play tennis or basketball. My friends and I would spend time around town and visit the library to study or to go to Dunkin' Donuts for a treat. We had the privilege of growing up in a safe town with access to public spaces that allowed us to relax and be present in the moment, to foster community and dream big about the future. And that future is here now.
Things that are happening here in Edison. I would like to just take a couple seconds, if I can.
Hey everyone, hey Edison, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Today I just delivered my first State of the Township address for Edison Township. I'm extremely excited about the projects that we have for this year. We have a huge agenda with 3 major projects that we just launched this year. It includes a community garden, a senior citizen center, and the construction of a library. And another event that we're actually going to do is we have so many projects lined up for our recreation department. We have 47 events throughout recreation. We've doubled our budget. These are primarily paid for with the support and help through our state, local, county, and federal officials. These are things that we are taking advantage of, and this is essentially government working for you. I'm excited about this year, and so should you be. I also announced that we would be celebrating Diwali for the first time as a township. It's going to be a huge, terrific event, and I am really, really excited about it.
I'm Nancy Pinkin. We're here today with the State of the Township address from Mayor Sam Joshi. It's his first State of the Township. He laid out a great plan. It was very exciting. Lots of new up-and-coming changes, and we really look forward to working with him.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight at the Edison Township State of the Township address hosted by the Edison Chamber of Commerce. Excited to be here. Great speech by our Mayor Sam Joshi. A lot of great energy, great future projects. And also, I was happy to also see my great friend Holly Monterado here from Drug Addiction Services in our town. It means a lot to me and so many families. So, hello, Holly, and thank you for being here.
Today we are here for the State of the Township speech of our new mayor, Samip Joshi, and he has a lot of good idea, and he has a lot of good planning for this town. His idea, we are here to listen him, and we want to understand him, what future he has for our Edison Township.
Today is a really great and proud moment for all Indian live in Edison Township. Our Mayor Sam Joshi, the first the State of Township speech today, and get together to making is a great success for the first time the South Asian, the Mayor of Edison. Young, energetic Sam Joshi, we expect him to do a much better job than any other mayor have done in Edison in past. Young, energetic mayor, and we are so proud to be here today to celebrate his victory and listen to him, the first State of Township in Edison, New Jersey.
Ramayana is indeed dedicated to the Leelas of Lord Ram, who is known as Maryada Purushottam. There are uplifting and inspiring references of ideal relationships as well as ideal devotion. Akhand Ramayana was organized at Pramod Bhagat's residence in New Jersey in the presence of important Indian American community members. Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh was also present there. The idea was to pray for peaceful passing of upcoming elections. And many people prayed for the re-election of Yogi Adityanath ji as Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Here is a brief report.
रही न सकई हरि भगति बिहाई अस बिचारी हरि भगत सयानी सो कैवल्य परम पद नहीं अति दुर्लभ कैवल्य परम पद संत पुराण को रस मुनि जन धन संतन को रस बस सर समत सबई की गावत संतत शंभु भवानी अनुगत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि भरत बखानी व्यास भगवानी गरुड़ के ज्ञानी कागब सुंदर गरुड़ के ही आर प्रसन्न गरुड़ के ही कलिमल हरण विषय रस बीकी कलिमल हरण विषय रस बीकी सुभग सिंगार मुक्त जुबती की सुभग सिंगार मुक्त जुबती की आय नमः जिनके सत्संगति अति प्यारी रामाय नमः गुरुपद प्रीति नीति रत गई रामाय नमः गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकादिशेष अरुसारद भरणी पवन सुत कीरति नीति गावत वेद पुराण।
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम लीना गुप्ता है। मैं भारत में यूपी से हूँ, उत्तर प्रदेश से। मेरी आप सभी से ये हार्दिक इच्छा है, आप सभी से वो करती हूँ मैं कि बाहर जाकर वोट दीजिए, क्योंकि ये जो वोट जो हम देते हैं बहुत कीमती वोट है हमारा। आप सभी जानते हैं कि किस सरकार ने क्या काम किया है आज तक। तो प्लीज़ आपसे अनुरोध है कि बाहर जाइए, वोट दीजिए।
नमस्ते, न्यू जर्सी मोरिस प्लेन्स। आज प्रमोद और नीरज जी के घर से यहाँ पर आज बहुत बड़ा यज्ञ किया गया है, अखंड रामायण हुई है। और सिर्फ इसलिए हम लोगों को हम भी भारत से बाहर आए हुए हमको 35 साल हो गया है, इन लोगों को भी 25 साल हो रहा है। और हम लोग सब लोग बस एक विनती आप सभी लोगों से करना चाहते हैं कि भारत में जो अब पिछले 5 सालों में आपके उत्तर प्रदेश में पूरे और जगह पे जो 7 सालों में जो भी हुआ है कार्यक्रम, जितने जो विकास के कार्यक्रम चल रहे हैं उनको पीछे मत जाने दीजिए।
मेरा नाम सुधा अग्रवाल और मैं यूपी कानपुर से हूँ और मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि हमारा यूपी जीते और हमारा यूपी ये समझे कि किसने कितना काम किया है 5 साल में। ये हमें समझने की ज़रूरत है, ये हमें लोगों को सिखाने और समझने के लिए हमें देखना है क्या काम किया है। हमारा अयोध्या का मंदिर बना, आज 24 घंटे हमने यहाँ रामायण करी। कई बार मेरे मन में ये बात आई कि आज योगी सरकार के द्वारा हमारा मंदिर बना है। मैं सबसे करबद्ध निवेदन करती हूँ कि योगी सरकार आने दीजिए, उसी से ही हमारा भला है, हमारे यूपी की उसी से उन्नति है। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। प्रभु की कृपा से
हम सभी एनआरआई बंधुओं का एक छोटा सा प्रयास, एक गिलहरी की छोटी सी प्रयास, महायज्ञ में एक छोटी सी आहुति की तरह कि परमात्मा हमारे देश को, हमारे मातृभूमि की रक्षा करें, आसुरी शक्ति जो लगी रहती है उसका खात्मा हो। वैसे लीडर्स, वैसे संत जो अपना पूरा तन मन धन से राष्ट्र की सेवा के परमात्मा वो दीर्घायु हो, हमारी भी उनको उम्र लगे। और हमारे बाबा जी यूपी में आए, हम लोग अयोध्या के दर्शन के लिए हम लोग आना चाहते हैं। और सबसे पहले अमेरिका से अगर हॉली वाटर जो गया 160 कंट्री से जो भेजा गया, तो पहली शुरुआत अमेरिका से ही हुई थी। और वह शुरुआत हमारे पद्मश्री डॉक्टर सुधीर पारिक, वर्ल्ड पीस एंड हेल्थ फाउंडेशन की कंप्लीट टीम और यहाँ के सभी मंदिरों से हम लोगों ने जो हॉली वाटर इकट्ठा किया था, और वो ऑलरेडी वहाँ फाउंडेशन के लिए पहुँच चुका है। और हमारे पूरे संगत की, पूरे प्रभु के भक्तों की, और ये जो अखंड रामायण का जो पाठ रखा गया, इसका एक ही पर्पस था कि प्रभु आप हमारे देश की रक्षा करें और आसुरी शक्ति को ख़त्म करें। और बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे पूरे संगत की, पूरे एनआरआई कम्युनिटी की जो हमारे साथ 24 घंटे इस यज्ञ में शामिल हुए।
American Indian Chamber of Commerce is playing an important role of bringing entrepreneurs together, and relationship building is one of the key goals of this organization as per the newly elected President Rajiv Krishna. He also looks at it as a hub of resources. Here is a part of his conversation with us.
So the Chamber's mission is basically to connect. I mean, we have defined our mission in a very simple term. We say that our mission really is to be the hub for resources. As a business person, as a new business owner or a existing business owner, you need resources. You need either money to run your business, you need education to run your business. So we are the hub to help you with the resources. And the second is relationships. In business, all matters relationships. Now, it's about who you know, not what you know.
Right.
So making those connections with corporate America, making the connections between the vendor and the supplier is really our two key objectives for our members, is to be a hub for your resource and hub for relationships. To this end, we want to have networking events to build relationships and do educational webinars to help you grow as a business person. And that's really in a nutshell, no? That is the whole purpose of the chamber. The chamber is not in it to make money or to write laws or do any social events. It is strictly business to business. In addition to that, no, there's another element to our chamber, which is individual growth. So if you are a member of the chamber, we'd like to see you grow as an individual, whether it is public speaking or whether it is managing projects or whether it is learning how to do Excel. So these things not only help you in your business environment, but it also helps you to grow as an individual.
Absolutely.
So that is really a mission, but we are not into the social end of the business.
Wonderful. So, as you know, we know that you recently got elected as a president. So I'm sure you have a lot of goals in mind, what you want to do for the chamber. So can you just talk a little bit about that?
So the way I've kind of approached this whole leadership role is I'm saying that we need to focus on 4 areas of the chamber. One is we need to build or expand our relationships and opportunities. We have built relationships over the last 25 years. We need to continue to build our relationships and seek new opportunities. So that is our first goal. The second goal is educating our members. Educating our members as to how to be a more successful business person. So that is the second, we call these the 4 pillars of our chamber. So one is opportunities and relationships. Second is educating our members. Third is spreading awareness. We need to spread awareness within the community, within whoever wants to listen to us as to what the chamber is all about. What does it stand for? Whether it is through conversations like this, through radio, through print. We want to build awareness not only about our chamber and our members, but also about our sponsors. Our sponsors are a big part of our chamber. They support us. And the fourth is what I call value chains. What value chain really helps grow the individual or helps grow the community? And one important value chain we want to build on is youth. We want to really get youth and young entrepreneurs involved and start some new value chains there. So these are the four major objectives of the chamber. Anything we do from this point on should address one of these four pillars or one of these four objectives. And that's really our goal for the next. And our board members, our programs, our committees, our whole efforts are going to be focused on these four areas. I've tried to structure this as the first 4 months, January, February, March, April, is basically building our membership. So February is focused on everyone who has touched the chamber in some form or the other, the past president, the past members, the past board members. If you attended an event in the past for the last 25 years and we have your business card, we have your name, your email address, we are reaching out to you and asking you to come to the February's event. It is basically an outreach to everybody who's touched the chamber in the past. We're going to put up posters of all the past events. One of our past presidents had taken delegations to India. We had health expos. So we're going to put up a lot of posters around the event hall to basically relive all the things you've done in the past.
Right.
March is going to be a month of new members. So we're going to really do a member drive between now and end of March to bring in new members. And then April is going to be these organizations I talked to you about.
Right.
All the associations, we want to bring them on board in April. So January, February, March, April has been our membership building quarter. Then May, we want to invite all our sponsors to come and address. They have paid money to the chamber, so I want a good audience for them to talk about what they do. In June, we want to do a golf outing. July, we want to do a breakfast event based on supplier diversity. So we have laid out a whole plan for the whole year. And hopefully by the end of the year, we want to have a procurement expo, which basically is going to invite all the larger corporations to bring the purchasing managers to this event and invite all our small businesses to attend this event and talk to these purchasing managers from large corporations to see how they can benefit from business from the large corporations. And we have our board members, we have 15 board members. So we have assigned a task to each board member to work on a given month. So we have people working on February, March, April, May, June, July, all the way through December. Youth, September, we're going to have a huge youth event where we're going to invite all the youth, whether they are entrepreneurs, whether they're university, whether they are tech meets, wherever they are, to come and join our chamber. But we have between now and September to work on that. So that is the beauty of what we're trying to do, is to empower our board members, have a team in place to people like Elias, people like me, radio, EBC Radio, Radio Mirchi. We are going to have these support groups available to them to help promote whatever event each board member is promoting.
I think it's definitely a wonderful opportunity. Any other messages you want to convey to our viewers at ITV Gold?
Just be a part of the chamber. I mean, there is so much. The motto of the chamber is, none of us is as strong as all of us. That is really the motto, which means as a group, Asian Americans are going to spend $1.3 trillion in 2022. 20% of the Asian Americans are Asian Indians. So we are going to spend, I don't know, I don't know how accurate these numbers are, but Nielsen says that so we have we are a mainstream community. We are no longer a minority in a lot of ways. So if we can come together, at least as a business, we can benefit a lot for our businesses. We can benefit a lot as entrepreneurs. We can help each other. So my appeal to our membership really is, or to the general community out there, is to let's get on this bandwagon and let's see where we can take it to. I mean, that's really we've been around 25 years, so it doesn't happen by accident. There has been some value in the chamber for the last 25 years.
Absolutely.
And the next 25 years need to be totally different than the last 25. That's really my goal.
And now we'll conclude with part of conversation with entrepreneur Denny Gaikwad.
So it was 1986, I think 87 actually. So 87, I came, and just like any other immigrant, I came with a lot of dreams. My family is very rich. I don't need to come, but I did political science, which is very unusual in India at that time. in 1976, and I'll tell you why unusual. Because my university, Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad University, had a 45,000 students, and only 15 students were in a political science. So I love politics. I enjoy politics. I understood the power of politics because
Dhaneji, allow me to interrupt. Politics usually is not seen as a subject which would be lucrative in terms of your job opportunities.
Yes.
And
So-
what is it about politics that appeals to you?
See, what I realized as a privilege to born in a Gaikwad family, there are two things about one's life. One, power, and one is the money. But what is unique about the power and money is so different. A money may not bring you a power enough, but a power will always bring you money enough. People have just wrong percept that if you have money, you become powerful. It's wrong. If you become the powerful, all the avenues open for you. All. I mean, everybody
so-
likes to associate with the power, whether we like it or not.
Let me seek your input on how you define power, or there are different faces of power. Some people look at political power as power. Some people look at money as power. And no,
so-
the definition of power.
So power can be a community leader power. You don't have to run the office. Power as you are in a society power because you do crazy good social work. You become a helpful to others. That is also considered as a power. Power is not only that you run the office. I never ran the office, but you can support the powerful offices, and then you also have access to the power. And a power has, but very simple. If you look at from the 10,000 year, the money never bought anything. The power brought everything. So if you have a lot of money, for example, and if the powerful country attacks you, your money disappears in a few minutes, because we somehow has a misconception that money brings the power. It's other way around. You can be a good citizen, great citizen, powerful citizen. Who do not respect the powerful citizen? Who wants you against?
So where does the power come from is another question. And also,
Mhm.
when you say power, the way I look at it from individual's point of view, it is the self-confidence which would manifest the power that you have in you as an individual. So now that takes me to the first few days when you landed 86, 87. And I don't know what was the vision. Did you come here to study further or to start some business? What was it happening at that time?
So what happened when I was studying in a college political science, 1976 precisely till 80, I was in a political science subject, BA, Bachelor of Arts. At that time, the Cold War was on the peak of the world. It was almost nuclear war type situation was there, that America and Russia, there's no other third country was existing. So America fascinated me with a different power set, and Russia definite, because Russia was not open. Where America, if the president speak, you can have a news within a week. At that time, there was no televisions or nothing. So this used to be our subject in the college, that how two powerful countries are different. One dictates, dominates, and one open and a capitalist. So even then, America had a more power. So that was my first attraction to the America, that this is the powerful country. Another thing, America has a more stories from rags to riches. I mean, I can say in every corner, there is a one rag to rich story in America. Every corner, every city, every town. Where Russia, you don't find that. So that's what my attraction, that, hey, let's get out of India and let's see what America is all about, whatever I studied. So that was my biggest attraction.
So when you came, even now when people come, they kind of come up with some sort of a plan in their mind that this is how I'm going to grow once I reach there. And some people come with very well defined structure and support system. Some people come and struggle here. What was your situation?
I was struggling because I'm not a doctor, so I don't have specific trade. I'm not an engineer, so I don't have a specific trade. When you have a political science, what are you going to do? Who wants in America political science guy? Nobody. So my first struggle was, how do I get and then get a first money dollar, you know. So you do what every immigrant does. And I did the same. That, hey, some guys give me advice, go in hospitality, because there were very small motels were there. Indians were not hotel owners. They were motel owners. So I said, no, I don't want that. Then somebody told me about gas station. Somebody told about, so I thought gas station is the cheapest way to be entrepreneur, cheapest. In my time in 87, if you come to Florida in a 15,000 US dollars, you can be a small gas station or a convenience store owner in Florida. And I had at least 50 guys came like me, and we all were in that, because you become your small entrepreneur and then you grow. So that's the answer. You know,
So let me now take this opportunity, with your permission, to share a part of your life journey with this short film.
When I came to America, I realized, oh my God, nobody even knows my last name. Nobody knows me. I have no privilege. I tried everything you can think of to get a job. Grocery store, they even refuse me to get a job, because they look at the guy from India, speak a little different. They won't give me a job at all, brother. But my dream was not small. I came with a very large dream.
Danny is the essence of what America is. Danny came here from India, small, saw the dream, and built it.
He's an American success story. He's one that you can point to say, you think you got a little bit of a disadvantage? Well, there's a guy who came here early on in Ocala when he was not necessarily universally accepted because he was different. But he's shown people that in America, if you work hard, and if you are honest, and if you do the right things, success comes your way.
Danny and Manisha are the American story, and it's what gets me excited. How an ordinary person with some great benefits in the life he was living in India and the connections that he had realized the power of being in a place where anybody can start from anywhere and get to live out their dream. That appealed, and he understood it, and they applied themselves.
Time to say goodbye from today's Vision of Asia, but before we do that, time also to recollect that you can continue to enjoy our programming on our Facebook page, be your friends there, subscribe to ITV Gold's YouTube channel, and keep writing events@itvgold.com. Stay safe, stay well, take care. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.